When first entering Crucible's gate from New Sheogorath in the Shivering Isles, we overhear two citizens having a disturbing conversation, even for the likes of the citizens of Crucible.
Hey, you!
What?
Kill me. Please.
Ready, roll!
After Bolwing seemingly ignores the macabre request, the Imperial then turns his sight on us.
Hey, you! Come over here. I've got to ask you something. Something important. Shh, just come over here.
Foolishly, we can respond. How can I help?
I have a proposition for you. Best not to talk about it here. Meet me at the sewer grate, northeast of the Sheogorath statue. Come after dark. Come alone.
After that cryptic request, the quest Final Resting is added to our journal. Trudging up Crucible's stairs into the muck behind Hirrus Clutumnus, we inquire, "Sorry, what do you want?"
Best not to talk about it here. Meet me after dark at the sewer grate, northeast of the Sheogorath statue.
We then spin to see the Bosma Bolwing, who helpfully imparts.
Tell the Dane! Tell the Dane! Cornsky is Ralphing!
With curiosity taking hold, we somewhat unwisely then retrace our steps back to the statue of Sheogorath found by New Sheogorath's entrance. Heading through the northeastern arch, we then spy, close by, a foul-smelling sewer grate. However, the only creatures in sight are those that live off Crucible's refuse, and so we're forced, as instructed, to wait for the Imperial. And as night falls, we see the Imperial trudge in the sewage over to the grate and await our arrival. Marching through the muck at night with our torch lit, an exasperated Hirrus once again questions,
"Won't someone end me? Take my life, please."
As we move to ask him about his morbid request, he angrily shoos us away for having our torch lit.
Put that torch away. Do you want people to see us talking?
With torch successfully doused, he begins.
I'm glad you came. So, are you interested in earning some loot?
We're then presented with two dialogue options. The first, dismissing him, we can say. "So, to get this straight, knee-deep in excrement, you're asking if I want to earn some loot?" Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, really? Look, I'm in desperate need of a champion, a hero. Are you brave and fearless?
We can then end the quest prematurely, saying, "Hirrus, hear this. I'm not interested in helping you."
So, you're a coward. Just my luck. Never mind. I'll find someone else to do it.
Hirrus will then sullenly stomp off to his residence, effectively killing the quest. Otherwise, if we claimed we're interested in hearing his proposition, he'd respond.
Great. There's a simple task. Yes, a simple task that you must perform.
I don't like the way that you're stuttering here. What's the task?
This life, it's too painful. Everywhere I look, I see death, dying, and decay. When I dream, I see a world without sunshine. I'm constantly on the verge of retching up, or falling asleep, or screaming at someone who doesn't deserve it. I'm just so fed up with it all.
We're then given three distinct responses, which we will explore. The first being, "I'm sorry you're having a bad day."
A bad day. A bad day. Try a miserable existence. There's no point in talking about it. Action must be taken.
Otherwise, so what? What's this to me?
I need your help. I need you to send my soul away from this world. You must kill me.
And finally, why me? Why don't you just kill yourself? I'm sure there's plenty of ways around here.
Have you seen those miserable souls on the Hill of Suicides? Do you think that that kind of existence is any better than this? No. You must kill me.
Now, to be fair, Hirrus has a pretty poignant point, as the Hill of Suicides is located in the Isles, and it's where you'll see multiple ghosts that are stuck and are doomed to relive each day and are resurrected, as they cannot rest due to Sheogorath's policy that if one was to take their own life in the Isles, it would be the easy way out. They wouldn't be subjected to his madness, so he kind of has created the ultimate deterrent, which we have explored in a quest which will be linked at the end of this video. and it's quite macabre, though you do get to help the spirits. Speaking of which, we can then helpfully query with Hirrus. So, how do you want to die?
I don't necessarily want to see it coming, and I want to die here in the city so all these people finally believe me. I wish they were nicer. You probably want to do it without spectators, though, so you don't get in trouble. Best to make it look like an accident. But remember, I don't want to see it coming. Take me unaware.
Leaning into the task, we can respond. It should look accidental, you said. How?
Well, that's up to you, I suppose. I'm going to go about my daily life, such as it is, as if nothing has changed. Make your move when you wish. But please, do it soon.
Well, that's the catch, isn't it? See, I need incentive to put myself on the line, and maybe the guards, etc. So, about this reward?
Oh, that. When you kill me, take the key to my house. Nothing really worth taking, except what's locked up in the jewelry box. You can have that. Okay, I'm going to pretend everything is normal. Make your move as soon as you can. But let me get away first so I don't know it's coming. No! Not like this!
Hirrus then, understandably, begins immediately flinching, as if we're going to attack him, which we will, as we can test out what happens if we don't make it look like an accident or staged, and test out a fireball on the poor Imperial.
Stop! Take me unaware! Not like this! No! Not like this!
Hirrus, dying squealing, has a handful of death dialogue where you can tell the developers really enjoyed this quest a little too much.
Please, no! It hurts! Stop! No! No! The pain!
Our quest then updates. Hirrus Clutumnus is dead, just as he wanted. I can now get my reward from his house, and the key should be on his corpse. Technically, we have succeeded in said quest. The problem is, as he had warned, attacking him counts as assault, and so too are we faced with a dark seducer.
Halt, lawbreaker. Lord Sheogorath's justice demands reparations, or it's the dungeon for you. Any stolen goods will be confiscated.
Resisting arrest, unfortunately, results in our own demise.
Mazkin! For Sheogorath! For the Mad God! Mazkin! For the Mad God!
Instead, proceeding to finish the quest as instructed, we can find Hirrus as he marches off to his home to sleep in terror of us killing him, and will still cower when we approach.
Not like this!
Attempting to speak to him, he will instruct.
Okay, I'm going to pretend everything is normal. Make your move as soon as you can, but let me get away first. Don't let me see it coming.
Giving Hirrus his last night in Crucible so that we can follow him and find a place where we can kill him quietly, as per his request. We then begin to overhear local residents of the Isles who often discuss the depressed Imperial. In Crucible, they'll empathize.
I understand Hirrus Clutumnus is begging for people to kill him.
Someone should put Hirrus Clutumnus out of his misery.
Though in Bliss, as they're not fans of their Crucible counterparts, they will coldly respond.
Can't say I blame him, living in Crucible.
The next day we attempt to tail Hirrus as he meanders around Crucible, though at one point he breaks off his regular schedule and we can't seem to find the Imperial. It's only when we look up to the east above the stairs to New Sheogorath Palace do we see a lone figure standing on the end of a ledge, peering over. Racing up the stairs, we see Hirrus standing motionless, and approaching him, he turns to muse.
Sometimes I come up here to think. Everything looks so small from up here. Makes me feel better, you know? Like I'm not so small myself. But that feeling only lasts a little while. Then I start thinking about how miserable everything is, and then all I want to do is step off the ledge. I can't just jump. Don't want to end up on the hill. But I hope that someday maybe a big gust of wind will come and push me off so I can end it all.
To which we respond, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, right.
Standing next to Hirrus, we think how comical it is that he thinks a gust of wind could lift him up off this ledge. There's no real wind in, and it's then a devious thought begins to creep its way into our cranium. Well, he doesn't need wind at all. Why, he just requires a gentle nudge. Tapping the Imperial on his shoulder, we tell him,
I often wonder what it would be like to fall to the ground so far below. I bet it would be like flying, then suddenly falling into a deep, blissful sleep.
guess what, Hirrus? Today's your lucky day. We push him off the ledge as he lets out a startled yelp.
What? Take care.
His body lands in a stream of sewage on the ground with a crunch, with the bones of other citizens that seem to have had a similar idea. Our quest then updates. Hirrus Clutumnus is dead, just as he wanted. I can now get my reward from his house. The key should be on his corpse. It's then the Dark Seducer, standing nearby, who had just witnessed the whole sordid affair, casually remarks,
Someone really ought to put up a railing. That happens all the time.
Down on the ground, amidst the slain remains, we find meagre effects, including his clothes and 5 golden short sword. However, more notably, promised key to his home, where his supposed jewellery box awaits our arrival. Heading back towards the gate of New Sheogorath, we find just to the west, next to Siklu Bernice's tap house, is Hirrus Clutumnus' home. Inside, we see statues in reverence to the mad god. Amidst them are shears and sickles and calipers with blood on them. And with the chains hanging from the ceiling, it's evident that Clutumnus was quite masochistic. Heading upstairs, we find in his bedroom the Liturgy of Affliction book next to his bed, and to the northeast, a small dresser with skull and some booze on top of it. In between them is the promised jewellery box. Inside said jewellery box, we find 2 items. The first is Hirrus Clutumnus' will and a ring of supposed happiness. Now, before we look closer at said ring, it's probably best we take a moment to read his will, in which he writes that he feels alone and friendless, yearning for death's release, and thanks the man or woman who grants him his demise, emphatically stating it was not suicide. He also remarks how a wizard had once took pity on him, as he reminded the wizard of his son, so said wizard decided to gift Hirrus a ring of happiness to help try cure his depression, seemingly. But the ring didn't lighten his mood, rather made Clutumnus feel strange. It seems he felt more at home being depressed, so he discarded the ring, which seems to be our reward and we need to fish out of the jewellery box. The ring in the jewellery box, called the Ring of Happiness, ironically, is actually a pretty good ring, worth from 3,817 gold all the way to over 6,000 at level 25 as it's level dependent. At our lower level, it imparts Feather 25 points, Fortify Personality 4 points, Light 5 feet, and Water Walking, obviously representing having a more lighter and brighter outlook on life, was something that couldn't aid an ailing manic depressive like poor Hirrus. Now that I look at the deeper themes of the quest, when I originally played it, which will also be linked at the end of this video, as Wes Johnson plays Hirrus Clutumnus and does a very different take on the character, more sullen and forlorn. The takeaway for me personally was depression, and it was more of an overview of what it does to you. But replaying it now, I realize there's a whole other theme of if Hirrus takes his own life, he'll end up on the hill, which obviously relates to religion and the views of people who take the quote-unquote easy way out and what type of damnation that they would face. I don't want to get too deep with it. Take from that what you will. Let me know in the comments below what your takeaway was. Take care of yourselves. As always, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, traveler.
Fribble.
Apologies, citizen, but I must return to my post.
Gal burst in it. Ready, roo! Ready, roo!